Supergirl tracking opens stronger than Mortal Kombat 2 as Mandalorian gets big bump. So, are things looking up for Supergirl? Well, she does fly, so. Supergirl box office tracking is in. And the early numbers do not look too bad for DC Studios and Warner Brothers. The first early tracking for the quorum has Supergirl with 53% awareness and 48% interest ahead of its June 26th release. The quorum tracks movie awareness and interest through audience surveys, giving an early look at which upcoming films people know about and want to see. That last part's the more important part, you know. It is not a blowout number yet, but it puts the movie in a better spot than Mortal Kombat number 2 was heading into release, which matters after that sequel underperformed at the weekend box office. Supergirl currently, yes, you already told us. For comparison, Mortal Kombat 2 had 48 awareness and 48 interest. Hey, Supergirl's better just before release. The problem is Mortal Kombat number 2 actually dropped closer to opening weekend, which ended up matching what happened at the box office. Mortal Kombat number 2 opened to $38.5 million domestically, according to Box Office Mojo, after earlier projections had it closer to $50 million. Oh boy, that's Supergirl is still more than a month out, so DC Studios and Warner Brothers have time to push the marketing. The awareness is there, but the interest needs a boost. Quorum also says both awareness and interest dropped, but only by a point each. The trailers and featurettes have already started setting up Millie Alcock's Kara as a different kind of Kryptonian than Superman, and the next few weeks will likely decide whether general audience show up. Yeah, she's, all into herself, snotty and drunk. But hopefully this is the journey for Supergirl to understand heroism, and by the end she gets it. And if you do something like that, that might work, and word of mouth can go a long way. Opening weekend, will it be a little better than they fear it will be? And maybe that helps out for it. And then word of mouth, it's not bad. It's actually kind of good in some scenes. And so, maybe that's something. Is that enough for DCU overall? No. No, it's not. That's not Supergirl's fault. That's James Gunn's fault. Mandalorian and Grogu also gets a good sign in the latest tracking. The Star Wars movie jumped 6 points in awareness, bringing it to 52, while interest sits at 50. The movie opens May 22nd, so the timing is important. Disney is now about a week out, and awareness moving up this close to release is what the studio wants to see. The bigger question is whether it is enough to revive Star Wars on the big screen. No, it's not. Disney has not had a theatrical Star Wars movie since The Rise of Palpatine in 2019. So Mandalorian and Grogu has a lot riding on it. Yeah, it does, but oh man, the massive damage done to the brand. For now, the tracking says Star Wars might not be dead yet. Well, you've got these rumors spiraling around. They're going to, flush the sequel trilogy. You do that, and you've got some amount of excitement, anew. Can you ever restore Star Wars? No. Can you make it into a profitable brand? Possibly. But my God, what a lot of damage. Masters of the Universe also saw awareness move up, but interest remains a concern. Yeah, so people know it's coming and it's there and all that. Problem is, they're not so sure about it. A lot of the scenes, the Eternia scenes, look cool, but the movie has a 40 awareness score, up 2 points, but its interest score is only 41 and down 1 point. This is not a disaster, are you sure? But it shows Amazon MGM still has work to do before the June 5th release. The He-Man brand has name recognition, but the tracking suggests the movie still needs to convince more people that it's worth seeing in theaters. No surprise here, Scary Movie 6 and Toy Story 5 continue to lead the chart. Yeah, they're going to blow those out. That's just the way it is. Scary Movie 6 has 60 awareness and 55 interest, while Toy Story 5 has 68 awareness and 59 interest. Those are the strongest numbers on the board, which makes sense given both titles come from franchises our audiences already know. Toy Story number 5 also has the Disney Pixar brand behind it. Yeah, that's not why. It's because it's Toy Story. A Pixar movie, ones they've done lately, trying to do something new, which, all right, you're trying to do something new, but even a spin-off, Buzz Lightyear, yeah, I didn't. Scary Movie 6 has nostalgia and comedy. Yes. Well, that's what Toy Story has. It's a beloved franchise unto itself. So you better not mess it up. That's why Toy Story, it's going to do well. It's going to be big. The Death of Robin Hood, starring Hugh Jackman, is on the lower side with 21 awareness and 42 interest, which is probably pretty good since nobody knows anything about this other than it's Hugh Jackman. You know? This is not shocking. It is an A24 release and not a 4-quadrant summer blockbuster. The interest number is not terrible, but the awareness shows it still has a smaller footprint compared to the bigger franchise titles. But there's still the possibility it could make a profit. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day looks like the biggest concern on the chart. The Universal release has only 23 awareness and 45 interest. About a month to go before its June 12th release. Interest is not the issue. Awareness is. Matt Belloni of Puck, that's with a P, also flagged the problem, writing that Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day has an awareness problem. Yes, based on the quorum's early tracking. For a summer Spielberg movie, those numbers are not where Universal likely wants them. The studio still has time. But Disclosure Day needs a bigger marketing push. Fast. Well, it's a different marketplace, you know, and not enough people seeing it in the trailer in theaters and all that. But anyway, the takeaway is that Supergirl is not in bad shape. Well, there's problems that she can't do anything about. For her own sake, her own movie isolated unto itself, it's got a shot of doing okay. For the DCU, it needed to be a breakout hit. And if Superman had been the breakout hit, she wouldn't really need to do that. She would just being okay and maybe even good would be enough. But now, yeah. And that's unfair to Supergirl, but that's the way it is. So you say, hey, what do you know? Maybe it's not so bad. Yeah, it's okay, but it's not enough. That's the problem. Anyway, the movie is already ahead of Mortal Kombat number 2 in awareness and matching it in interest more than a month out. Mortal Kombat number 2's late tracking drop should be a warning sign, but Supergirl still has time to build momentum. Well, whatever promos you got, I guess you really need to show off Jason Momoa a lot and more action and stuff. Maybe that'll work. The dog's cute. Yeah. Maybe not so much her being a snot and drunk all the time. But that's going to be most of it, yeah. And then, of course, everybody, well, it's just like Guardians. Well, anyway, the next few weeks will matter. Oh, yes. If awareness climbs and interest holds, Supergirl could enter release in solid shape for DC Studios. If the numbers stall, Warner Brothers may have a tougher sell on its hands. Yep. Afraid so. But, you know, there's some possibility of positivity for once for Supergirl.